everyone, thank you very much for joining me. This is October's video. Loads to show you, but also loads to tell you. I guess we'll start off with the good news first. My horse arrived on the 18th of October. She's still in quarantine as we speak, but she gets let out on the 7th of November, I believe. So that's exciting. She isn't with me yet. She has to do another trip from Maryland down to Georgia. I was told that she was a little bit difficult to load in the air stall, but then once she was in, she flew perfectly, which is fantastic because I had the opposite issue where my horse would load herself, and then as soon as she got into wherever she was going, she would go basically batshit crazy, and I was really, really worried that if they had a horse in an air stall with another horse, because she went in with another horse, that there was going to be major issues and she was just going to set off a whole kind of like, wow, a major plane issue, and I was going to hear about it when she landed. But no, she was fine. So she travelled from Gloucester all the way over to the Netherlands. They dropped off some horses there because there is a horse airport there that travel horses to New Zealand and Australia. So they were dropped off, and then she was taken down to Belgium, and then she flew from Belgium to JFK, and then she did 4 days quarantine in JFK for the contagious equine metritis thing that they have, that they test for. And then she was driven down to Maryland. She did the rest of her quarantine there. She's still there at the moment, and then she's got an 11.5-hour trip to me. So by the time she gets to me, she would have been through the ringer, bless her. But, she's doing okay. No major issues. Yeah, so all I can do is hope that the trip down it goes as flawless as a trip over. But at least, that if they need to, they can sedate her because they're professionals, they know what they're doing. However, they didn't need to sedate her on the plane, and I thought that if they were going to have to sedate her anywhere, it would have been on the plane, but they didn't, which is fantastic. So she arrived on the 18th. My stables arrived on the 23rd or something. So I had to deal with all the custom side of it, get everything paid for, then get them released, get them over here. And they're actually in my next door neighbour's garage at the moment because we haven't finished the barn yet. So we actually even started the barn. That's a whole nother story. I'm not even going to bore you. So the stables are here as well. My dad comes out on, supposed to be the 8th, but he's just emailed saying that it might be later because we're waiting for some money to be transferred from one of his clients. Well, for his clients to pay him basically, because until his clients paid him, my dad can't give me any money. So we need to wait for his client to pay him. He's actually in Dubai at the moment. Once he's been paid, he'll transfer the money over to my American bank, and then he'll come over and then we can start building. I mean, we're in a bit of a precarious situation because that means that I've only got 2 weeks with my dad, and I've got my course in November, which has been pushed back. It was actually supposed to be October, but now it's been pushed back to November. So I'm actually only going to be able to spend a couple of weeks with him. Now, following on from that, I also received a letter from the USCIS saying they've not approved my application. Now, it doesn't mean that my application's been denied, but they just haven't approved it. So I was really stressing last week because you get the letter and then they're like, oh, we can't tell you what that is. You'll have to wait for it to come through the post. So I was waiting. And as it happened, it took like 5 or 6 days to come through. And I was really stressing out about what this could be. And loads of people have said, look, don't worry, it's nothing. It'll probably be like one item they want, or I don't know, your passport runs out in May. So get a new passport, prove to them you've got one, and then they'll give you the whole kind of however many years they give you. But I made myself really, really ill, and I had the flu quite badly. I think it was a flu I picked up, I don't know, but I've still got the back end of a cough. I was in bed for days. I just, for me, I stress out because all I could think of is I've just flown my horse over 5,000 miles across the world, and it cost me the best part of $18,000 to fly her here. Now, if you look at the exchange rate, that's pretty much £18,000. And she's not here yet, So I've got loads going on with regards to that. Now, I did eventually get the letter, and it was like a 7-page document. Why they can't just simplify anything, I don't know. It was like a 7-page document of this is insufficient, this is insufficient. Oh right, this is what we require for this, and you sent this, 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 and this. This is insufficient evidence. So it's just been a massive ball ache. I spent last night on the phone to my lawyer going through absolutely every single bit of documentation that we need. Basically how it is now is that I need to get the barn up, show that I've paid out of my business account, because that was the other thing. It got paid out. A lot of things got paid out of my personal account. And also I was told that my investment is insufficient. I've invested over $400,000, and the reason they could come to that is because the property is in my name. It's not in the business's name. So what they're looking at is they're saying, well, the risk is not for the business, it's for you. And I'm thinking, but the whole point of it is you have to put up your own money for risk, and it couldn't have gone into the company's name because I had to get a mortgage, and the company can't have a debt. Oh, honestly, it's driving me potty. And then on top of that, my little black cat is not very well. I think he's picked up something I picked up last week. I don't really know what's wrong with him. Just feel so bad. I had to take him to the emergency room day before yesterday. They did bloods on him. His bloods came back fine. He's got an upper respiratory infection. He's not really eating, so I'm syringing him at the moment. So that's a whole nother stress. So I have done stitching, but the last couple of days where I was supposed to have gone into my next month, which I'll talk about in a second, I just literally been sat there doing nothing because I just couldn't get myself in that kind of frame of I want to do anything. And I was so worried about my cat. I just couldn't get into the right mindset to do anything. I think I managed to go to the bank and post a check yesterday, and that was it. But that's because I had to, not because I wanted to. Otherwise I would have just gone to bed and got rid of the day. So anyway, going back to stitching, I did actually stick to what I said that I was going to do this month. So I've worked on 2, 3, 4, 5. I've worked on 5 projects. I was looking for going to an autumnal theme last month. So I worked on Stormy, which I'll show you in a minute, Autumn Jumble. His Name is Jesus, which is one I work on every Sunday anyway, and I'm in collaboration with One Stitch at a Time, Gobbler Farm and Bountiful Bookshelf, because I feel like I really need to work on that because I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere on that. So what I'll do is I will go through what I worked on this month, and then I will tell you what I'm going to work on through November. And I'm really sorry if I keep coughing. I've got my tea. I've just got this horrible cough. It just won't seem to go away. Okay. So the first one I'm going to show you is Gobbler Farm. And I absolutely loved working on this one. And I do love working on this one. This is a Donna Gelsinger. It's really, really, really an amazing piece of artwork. It's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So, I don't know if you can see that. That is the project. Look how beautiful that is. Those autumnal colours are just stunning. So I worked on this one for, I believe, 3 days. I did 1,272 stitches, and I am at 1.05%. I haven't really been working on this one very much. So this is what you saw it as last month. Well, not last month, because I haven't worked on it for a while. Since last time you saw it. And this is where I am up to now. So I'm working on 20 count, 1/1, full cross. I'm using all the called for threads, but that's DMC thread, not DMC thread, CXC thread, sorry. So yeah, that one's coming along. I would like to do a bit more on that one, but I don't think it's on my focus for sort of this next month. I might pick it up again in January potentially. I'm going to see if December can be more of my Christmas projects and try and get some of them finished. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying that. It's one that I've been meaning to get sort of into stitching for a while, but I just haven't managed to do it. But yeah, so all the called for threads on that one, all CXC threads. I much prefer it. I just find CXC threads are a little bit thicker than DMC, and actually I find the quality a bit better as well. I don't get any breakages in the CXC threads, and you know what, when I'm doing 20 count 1/1, I find the coverage is fantastic. So anyway, that's just my personal opinion. The next one I worked on is Bountiful Bookshelf. I did 520 stitches and I'm at 4%. Again, like the percentages on my bigger projects are rubbish. So this is by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. There is over 700,000 stitches on this. And this is where I feel like I'm panicking a bit, because I think I've only gone like 29,000 stitches on the whole entire project since I've been doing it. I am stressing out a little bit about it because I don't even know if I'm going to finish this in my lifetime. I've got so many projects going on at the moment. I certainly am not going to start anymore. I keep saying that, and then I do. Or I don't want to start anymore, but sometimes it's really, really difficult. But let me... this one here. So this is where you saw it last time. And this is where I'm at now. So if I just come round, for this one, I've mainly been concentrating in this sort of area here. What I'm trying to do with this is get this whole area to be complete, and I'm doing colour completion. So this colour here, I think, is the one I've been working on, and I haven't quite colour completed it yet. So I'm just going to go through and colour complete every single stitch in this area. And in fact, that's not dissimilar to the other one that I just showed you. If I just bring that back up again. So my Gobbler Farm, I have actually been doing the sort of same thing. Let me see if I can get something behind that. This is so heavy. This is like a really heavy frame. Okay, so again, colour completing all of these stitches. So I haven't quite completed this colour yet. I've got some more of that, and I've got some more of this brown. But again, just working to exactly the same effect and just colour completing my stitches as I go. So I'm hoping that I'll have a whole entire page done. So I think the way that I'm going about these is I'm doing it sort of page by page. So once that page is done, then I'll go on to another page. And I think that is sort of similar to this one. I think I've got like 4 or 5 pages completed now on this one, but I still don't feel like that's a lot. I swear I've been doing this since like 2017. And that's all I've done. And I just want to get rid of, if I come round, I just want to get rid of this area here. So then I can move my Q-snap over, and then I can start working on this book. But on this one, actually, what I might do is, instead of doing it page by page, I might work on this one book by book. So the next book that gets done over here, I'll complete that book. And then once I've completed that, I'll then go on to the next book. And I think that just might be a little bit easier for me with regards to that project. But yeah, so I'm going to try and see if I can put, you know, something on it every single month. So every single month going forward, that is the one project that I work on. So any other project I work on, I work around that one. I think that's going to be like the best way of doing it. And I am out of breath, can you tell? Like, I still haven't recovered from this cold. I'm out of breath already. So that is Gobbler Farm and Bountiful Bookshelf. The next one I worked on was a new start, which is one of the things that I said to you I wasn't going to do. But as it's autumnal and I was going for an autumnal feel, I felt that this was time due. So this is a drawn thread charted needlework design. It's called Autumn Jumble, and I absolutely love this. If I put it that way, really, 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 really pretty. Now the stitches for this one, They require to be like NPI and dinky dyes. So instead of doing the colour conversion for CXC, I did actually buy the NPIs and the dinky dye that is requested. So this I'm doing on what is charted for with regards to the threads and things. I don't know if NPI is silks. I don't think it is. So let me see if I can bring these up for you. So these are all the called for threads. They're very, very pretty. And I was going to put them on one of those little kind of silver hoop things, but I don't know where they've all gone. They've all just sort of disappeared somewhere. So yeah, so this is, they're all on my Annie's Keepers. So my Annie's Keepers, I've got all the numbers written on, and these are all the NPI threads. So there's only, there's only a handful. I think there's only like 11 threads, which is great. I love working with them. They're really, really beautiful to work with. I am doing this one on 32 count 1/2. Sorry, 1/1. I keep making that mistake. 32 count 1/2. And the fabric I'm using for this one is called, I want to say it's like Moonshine or something like that. I will put it in the description box, or I'll pop it on the thing so you can see. But the reason I love this fabric is because it's really versatile, and it's one that I can actually use for all of the seasons. So I do eventually want to do spring, summer, autumn, winter. So I thought that this fabric was absolutely beautiful, and I will put down what it's called. But tell me what you think about this fabric. It's really nice. It's like a sort of a silvery grey colour. However, it looks a little bit darker in the light here than what it is. In fact, it looks a lot darker. It's just almost like an off grey white. And I just thought that was really fitting. So this is where I'm at to so far. These have got specialist stitches. Now this is actually my first try with doing specialist stitches. I have got another one of those to do there, and I don't know why I worked onto this bit before I finished this bit, but I think I was stressing myself out because I've never done specialist stitching before, and I'm out of my comfort zone completely. But you know what? I've been stitching for a number of years now. I've been coming to you on video for a while, so I thought, look, just get yourself out the comfort zone, see how you go. If you really can't do it, then like put it away, okay? But you know what, I seem to be doing okay. And what I did find is this bit here, which is another, I can't remember what this is called now. Can you see these yellow stitches? They threw me completely. I have no idea why they confuse me so much. I just don't know. But I went onto Facebook, as you do, and I went onto the Cross Stitch Unlimited page, and I popped a thing up there saying, guys, please help me. This is what I'm trying to do. I don't know what I'm doing. This is the instruction. I tried to do it like 3 or 4 times. It was coming out wrong. And then I literally had people going through. I was giving them the instructions of like what I was supposed to be following. I just couldn't work it out. And I had people like highlighting things of like, this is your part 1, that's part 2, that's part 3, and it was so helpful. And I don't know if any of those people watch my video, but I just want to sort of put out there, thank you so much for doing that. I really, really appreciate it, because you really, really, really helped me. And you know, I managed to actually get it done, and that was fantastic. So, and it's really kind of revitalized my you know, my position in thinking that like the community is fantastic. Facebook community, everyone is everyone is really, really up for helping people. Instead of like making you feel like you're stupid, everyone will just put what they're doing down, and they will try and explain it to you to the best of their ability. And for that, I'm like forever thankful. And I love our stitching community. So thank you so much for those of you who helped me out. You know who you are. Okay, so the next one I worked on, did I tell you how many? Because I'm not doing that on Pattern Keeper, I'm actually doing it on a physical pattern, bane of my life. I did about 200 stitches, I think, on that one. And I can't even tell you what percentage I'm at because I don't have a percentage. Because I'm not working on Pattern Keeper. So, the next one I worked on is, his name is Jesus. My name is Jesus. His name is Jesus. Again, you can't really see this one very well. It's a bit rubbish. This is from Joyful Expressions. If you sign up to their newsletter, you get this free pattern. I'm doing this in colourway 3687, 3688 and 3727. Okay, so I worked on this for 4 days. I just do this on Sunday, and as I said before, I'm in collaboration with One Stitch at a Time. And yeah, so I did 700, I actually did not too badly. I did 770 stitches and I'm at 33.18%, and that can't be bad. Tara will be very, very pleased with me. Right, so this is what you saw it last time. And this is where we are at now. So this area here is new, Son of God. I'm almost finished His Name is Jesus. Am I finished Jesus? Yeah, I finished Jesus, which is always good. And I just got to finish name. So yeah, I just did this bit here with a lighter colour and then some more in this area here. I'm still yet to finish this letter. But yeah, I feel like that's coming along really, really well. I'm doing this on 32 count 2/2 full cross. And I like the coverage. You can see the coverage pretty well. Yeah. This is being done on Sparkle Snow fabric. This is a fabric which I absolutely love. I tend to get from the UK from Wool Warehouse. It's just like an opalescent white and it's beautiful. And I always tend to use opalescence in my non-full coverage pieces. So it just gives it a bit of like a sparkle. I love it. So that is that one. And I'm using CXC thread for that one. And last but by all means not least, still following on from the autumnal theme, I worked on Stormy, which is a Heaven and Earth Designs. The artwork is from Critter Valley. I love it. But I tell you what, when I tell you that I've never ever come across so much confetti stitching in all my life, I am not even kidding you. Every single stitch is like a different colour, like next to it. It's unreal the amount of stitching, confetti stitching involved in this. So excuse me, I've got some threads. I've got threads everywhere on this. I'm parking top, I'm parking down, I'm parking to the sides, because I actually did something that I don't normally do, and I started in the middle of this project. I normally start like the top and work down, but this one, for some reason, and I have absolutely no idea why, I started in the middle. I'm actually doing this on fabric that I dyed myself. It's 28 count 2/2. I'm doing this on. This is, yeah, 28 count, and I dyed this fabric myself. So this is where you saw it last time. And this is where we are up to now. So this is a leaf that I've started. Can you see how much confetti is in that? It's unbelievable. I just don't get it. You can't even see anything at the moment. It doesn't make sense. It just looks like someone's just thrown up a load of stitches and where they've landed, you know? It's craziness. So there's no substance to this yet, and for that I apologise. But I think this is the actually start of the owl. But yeah, so I actually dyed this fabric myself, and this is a really good, it's a grey colour, so I thought that would be really nice in kind of showing, you know, it's a stormy picture. And I just thought that this fabric would be perfect. So I hand dyed this myself, and I'm really pleased at how that came out. So that is Stormy. And that is the last one that I worked on this month. So no, I haven't worked on a hell of a lot. I have had a hell of a lot going on. My black cat, bless him, is still under my bed. I managed to drag him out last night to give him some chicken broth. At the moment, he's not eating. I think the problem is because he's got a cold, he can't smell what he eats. And cats, for them to eat, they have to smell what they're eating. And with him having a cold, he can't smell anything. So I've got kitten milk. I got kitten milk for a squirrel that I rescued ages ago. And I've got a syringe, which I'm not using the same one. I got another syringe for him. So I am just trying to syringe as many liquids into him as possible. So a couple of times a day I do the kitten milk, which I know is not ideal, but it still has loads of nutrients in it. And for me, I'm still getting liquid into him. And then last night he had like 9 millilitres, 9 mil of chicken broth. So I'm just hoping that, I know he's not eating at the moment, he's feeling really crappy, that, you know, he will start picking up soon. And the best thing you can do is try and shovel as many fluids into him as possible. Because as you know, or you may not know, that it's really detrimental to cats if they don't eat at all. So if a cat goes off food for 2 days, it can cause all sorts of like other issues like kidney failure, liver failure. Cats cannot go more than sort of 72 hours without eating. They have to eat something. Their body's got to physically metabolize something. So I think the game plan for him is that I will have him today, and if he's still really not eating by tomorrow, then I'm going to take him to the vets, and I'm going to get them to give him like an appetite stimulator to try and get his appetite going. But so yeah, I've still got the stress of him that I'm dealing with. He's one of the reasons why I hadn't done much stitching this month. Obviously my stable's arriving, my horse arriving, everything coming back from the USCIS which wasn't good news. I mean, I didn't get a denial. I guess we can be thankful for that. However, it's not really what I expected. I thought my case was stronger than that, but clearly it wasn't. So I've got a lot of work to do in the next few months. So going forward, I pulled out my Whip Go, because if you've followed me for a while, you'll know that I get involved with Whip Go. And this month was 1 week that I have to work on. 1 week for Bountiful Bookshelf, which is great because I really, really need to get some of that in. And 1 week on Pink Peonies. So, one that I've just shown you. So it's a week on this one here. And I'm hoping to get like some decent amount of stitching done. But the problem being I find is if I've got loads of time, I procrastinate. I'll put like 50 stitches in and then I'll get bored. And I'll be like, oh, it's fine, I've got all week. And then I'll do the same thing tomorrow. So what I might do is be a little bit more, instead of saying, right, you've got a week, however, you've got to put in like 1,500 stitches or say 2,000 stitches in that week. And then if I do those stitches sooner, then I can work on something else. And then it will just get me going through everything a lot quicker. So this month, I would like to work on things that make me happy. So things that make me happy are pinks and purples. Now, that works for this one, which is on my Whip Go as well. Pink Peonies, which is really, really beautiful. The only thing is I have to work on the Threadbare app for that, and I absolutely hate using it. It's just not a nice, kind, easy app to work on. I normally work on Pattern Keeper, and I find it a lot easier. So one of the other ones that I haven't pulled out since I've been here, actually, because it's not on any type of frame, is Alternative Reality by Josephine Wall. And again, we're still looking at autumnal colours, purples, oranges, you know, that sort of thing. Yellows, there is a little bit of yellow in there. But mainly the purples. And for me, autumnal is like purples, orange, you know, browns, that sort of thing. Excuse me. So I'll show you where I am up to on this one. This has been done on 18 count. 18 count 2/1 full cross. So that's where I am up to. I think, and I started doing the whole page by page, and then I was like, right, then I think I went on to the Stitcher Mommy, and she does the typewriter thing where she goes across the top from left to right and then she works down. I think I might have started doing that, but I might get back on to doing the page thing now. I don't know, I'll see. I'll see how I go. But, you know, I've got a bit of that done. That's not looking too bad. So I would like to work on that one some. So that would be nice if I can get some of that done. So that was one of the projects I would like to work on. So that's obviously project number 3, because I've got Bountiful Bookshelf and Pink Peonies. The other one I would like to work on is this one. I know this is not anything to do with like autumnal, but I'm so close to finish with this one. I would like to work on a little bit of my bumblebee. Now this, I might just say, do you know what, between this one and another one of my projects, this one, which is another small one, I might say that I work in the morning for the bumblebee, in the afternoon for this one, which is a quick stitch by Josephine Wall, again charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. The bumblebee I got off Etsy. So they're quite small designs and I'm quite far into them, so it's not really an issue if I just do half a day on each and I get like maybe a couple of hundred stitches. For me that'd be perfect. That's another couple of hundred stitches that I didn't have in them before. So, you know, we're progressing. So I'll probably end up working on those 2 as well. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 4 because... Okay, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's 5. Don't know if I'm overdoing it this month. His Name is Jesus. I'm going to be working on that one because I do that every Sunday. But again, what I might do is I might split the day and do maybe a couple of hundred stitches in the morning and then split it with maybe this one here, which I haven't worked on for a while, which is a Long Dog Sampler crossword. That's really, really pretty. And I'm doing this one in colourway 293041. I've actually got it here as well. 293041. And I think 327. Okay, so let's see if I can show you what I've done so far on this one. So that is where I'm up to so far. I think I'm doing this one on 32 count, 2/2. Really, really pretty. Again, coverage is fantastic. CXC threads. I love it. I think I've, by the looks of it, I need to sort out one of my stitches. Can you see that? I hadn't noticed it until I saw it on here, but where is it? Here. Can you see there? I don't know what I've done there. I might just have to pull the stitch through a bit. Or I might have just tagged the fabric a little bit on that one. So yeah, but that's where I'm up to. Again, not very far on that one, but it is a smaller project, so I'm finding my smaller projects aren't getting as much love as the bigger ones, just because I'm trying to get some stuff done on the bigger ones. I'm probably going to try and get one day done on this one. Excuse me, only because I'm quite close on this one as well. In fact, I think I'm over 80% on this. So I'll probably just do a day on that just to get some stitches in. Josephine Wall, quick stitch, Grace Face, 2. Again, that's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I haven't got the project with me. It's not in here because it's on one of my frames already. And then the other one that I really want to work on, which I haven't worked on for a bit, is this one here. Resistance is Futile, a long dog sampler. Linda reached out to me, one of my subscribers and friends, and she mentioned that she thought that there was a mistake on the pattern itself. Now, I just stitched it how it was on Pattern Keeper, and it's actually this bit here. Okay, so you see this bit here? That should have a gap there. However, when you look at it on Pattern Keeper, it doesn't show a gap. Now, Linda and myself went back and forth, back and forth. I then emailed Jules, who's always fun to email. Sometimes I find she's so over defensive, and you're just asking her a simple question. It's like, why do you have to come at me with so much like, ooh, when all I'm doing is asking a question? And she like berated me for using Pattern Keeper, because Pattern Keeper is not supported by Long Dog Sampler, which is fine, I get that, but you know, there are ways in which you can just talk to people, you know, you don't have to talk to them like they're idiots. I never said that there was a mistake. I asked if there was a mistake. Things happen, you know, it's not an issue. She could have just said, no, Pattern Keeper is, you know, bungled them up. If you know, we know it's supported by Pattern Keeper, but if you actually have a look at the pattern, then there is no mistake. Fine, whatever. But anyway, I ended up getting a whole bloody paragraph on why I shouldn't be using Pattern Keeper. Anyway, so what we found out is, because if you have a look on here, if you have a look here, can you see there that there is that gap? So I've gone back to my pattern. I have pulled my pattern out, and I have done my best to, oh, sorry, there's so much glare, done my best to sort of sticky tape. So you get the the full thing overlap, don't you? And this is the thing I was trying to explain to Jules as well. Like, she was like, oh, you've got an overlap on there, you know, that's probably the reason. And I said, no, because I take all of my page overlaps off, so there is no problem with being an overlap, but whatever. So just for this area here, I think I'm going to have to refer back to the pattern, and then once I get under that, which is where a page break is, I believe, then I can start using Pattern Keeper again. But I just want to say thank you, Linda, for pointing that out, because if you hadn't pointed that out, then I would have still continued doing it, and I probably would have noticed that after I'd done the rest of the bands. Now, as you can see, I'm in a position where I can just pull this out up to about here, and then redo this bit here. I think all of this is fine. It's just this little bit here. Again, I will double check here as well, because I'm wondering if I potentially am off by a stitch up here as well, because this is where the page break was. But like I said, this band, I'm probably going to go by the actual pattern itself, stitch that band with that pattern, and then maybe, or like half of it at least, and then get to a point on Pattern Keeper where I recognise here, and then continue on. So that's not going to be a game changer, that's not going to be an issue, but it just means I've got a little bit of work to do before I can start working on that one, because I've got to frog some of my pattern, but it could be worse, it could be a whole band. So that is also one I would like to work on. I'm probably only going to do a day on that, because that stitches up pretty quick. And then the last one that I would like to work on, but again, I feel like I am, bearing in mind next month I'm going to have my horse, so we'll have to see how this goes. This is one I haven't worked on for a while, and again, we're going back to, I know this is more spring, but you know, the colours, you've got the purple and pinks and things like that, which is I'm really drawn to. So again, this might be something that I work on for like a day or two. This is a quick stitch, a stitch in time, Sweet Life, and it's artwork by Amy Stewart, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I have got where I am on this one because it's not in a frame yet, because again, I haven't worked on this one since I have been in the US. I just hope I've got a big enough, because all my frames are being used up now, so I hope I've got a big enough frame. So this is where I am at now. I'm doing this one on 20 count 1/1, 4 cross, stunning, absolutely gorgeous colours, confetti heavy, massively confetti heavy on this one, but yeah, crazy. However, again, I'm going to try and do the same thing with this one as I'm working on all the others, to do a page finish, work off every single colour in that page, so colour complete, and then that'll be fine. So that is the plan for next month. Now, whether I see out that plan or not is another thing. I lost a couple of days like this month because I was really worried about my cat and I just couldn't get focus in anything. But, you know, today I might work on, you know, some of the smaller projects, get a couple of hundreds stitches in them, then I can kind of tick that box. So yeah, and I think instead of working on Bountiful Bookshop for a whole week, I think I'm going to set myself a goal of, you have got to do a goal of 1,500 stitches. Now, I know that sounds a little bit kind of backwards, because what's the point of doing a whip go? But believe me, it keeps me more, it keeps me, what's the word? I'm trying to think of the word. It makes me make sure that I do those stitches. Whereas when I say, right, I've got a whole week, because I've got a whole week, I just don't put any effort into doing it. So what I might say is, I've got 3 or 4 days to work on this, and within those 3 or 4 days, I need to do 1,500 stitches. I just think that that would be a better way of doing it, because I just procrastinate really badly, and I get distracted really badly as well. So, and also bearing in mind, next month, my dad's going to be here as well. So I think all of the smaller ones where I'm like, I'm going to do half a day here, half a day there, a day here, a day there, I think I need to get in the next sort of 8 days and get them done. And then all the ones that I can work on for like longer, so my pink peonies I've got to work on for a week, I will actually probably just carry on work on that one for a week, because I tend to... I enjoy working on that one. I'm not sure if I'm really enjoying Bountiful Bookshelf, which is why I keep procrastinating. Because in my head, I'm like, it is such a big project. I don't even know if I'm going to get it done, which is the reason why I think that I've had to take that, that process of book by book. So do one book, finish that, do another book, finish that, do another book, finish that. And then I can actually see that there is progress. Again, like I said, I think I've been working on that one for like 4 years, and I've done about 4 pages. So not ideal. What did I buy this month? I bought some rods. No, I bought some of these things. They're not rods. They're whatever they're called. What else did I buy? I don't think I went crazy this month, because I literally got no money. I think that's all I bought. Obviously, I bought the fabric, or did I buy that last month? Oh no, I bought the fabric last month, but I couldn't show you, I don't think, because I didn't have it. Or the one that they sent didn't seem to be the right one that I ordered. Well, no, I ordered it right, but it was different to what I thought it was going to be. So I had to reorder some more fabric. But yeah, I think other than that, that is everything. Yeah, that's everything. So I hope by next month I'll have some good news for you. By next month, certainly my horse will be here, and we would have had a few weeks together. We would have started the build by then. On the 29th of November, I go and do my course in Ocala for 2 weeks. So I'm probably going to have to cut my month short and get this video out to you earlier. So again, I don't know how much stitching that I would have had done by then, but I guess I'm just going to have to deal with what I've got. So just do a video on what I've done so far, and then go from there. And then I've got 2 weeks out next month, in December, sorry, because it's the 29th until like the 12th of December. That I'm probably not going to get much stitching done. I might work on smaller projects in the evenings, but I've got a equine sports massage therapy course that I'm doing. So I won't have like the day. I'll be busy in the day, but I'll have the evenings. So yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing in December yet, but I will see how I get on in November, and I will come back to you then. So anyway, until my next video, thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to stop by. If you have liked what you've seen, or if you're new around here and you like what you see, do me a massive favour and press the like button, notification bell with a subscription button if you wouldn't mind. That'd be fantastic, because that helps us all out, and it just helps get my video out to other people. So thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers guys, bye.